What began as a Me Too moment has blown up into a bitter political storm, and no one's been spared, from journalists, a public prosecutor, to ministers and even Anthony Albanese.
Did your colleague mislead Parliament?
No.
It's all become horribly messy. It's the uncomfortable intersection between the criminal justice system, the political system and media agendas. So now you're seeing all of it mixed up together.
It throws up the whole inability of the criminal justice system to deal with prejudicial pre-trial publicity, particularly in landmark cases where there's been huge media publicity.
At the centre is Brittany Higgins, her partner David Sharaz and Bruce Lehrmann, the former Morrison government staffer who was accused of raping Ms Higgins in a minister's office in Parliament House in 2019.
Did you rape Brittany Higgins?
No, I didn't.
The rape trial was abandoned late last year due to juror misconduct. The ACT's Director of Public Prosecutions, Shane Drumgold, deciding against a retrial, citing concerns about the effect on the mental health of Ms Higgins. The ACT government then announced an inquiry into the handling of the case after Mr Drumgold raised concerns about police and political interference.
The public inquiry has exposed the inner workings of the criminal justice system to a very uncomfortable degree, and I think there have been critical questions raised about the behaviour of a whole lot of players in that system, the DPP, the police, maybe the defence lawyers, the complainant herself.
A week ago, Bruce Lehrmann broke his silence.
Well, these are two people at the centre of a criminal allegation. One says the other one raped her, and the other one says he didn't. And that in itself sets them against each other. They haven't had the satisfaction of a result in a criminal trial, but the issue goes on, and now the war is being conducted in public, in the court of public opinion.
Last week, text messages reported to be between Brittany Higgins and David Sharaz were published by the Australian newspaper. The messages appear to show their attempts to rally support from the then Labor opposition's Katy Gallagher before they went to the media.
The text messages are a part of a conversation between Brittany Higgins and her boyfriend David Sharaz about who in Parliament might be amenable to asking questions in public about some of the issues she was raising in the context of what she says happened to her at Parliament House.
Tonight, claims of rape, roadblocks to a police investigation, and a young woman forced to choose between her career and the pursuit of justice.
Back in 2021, 4 months after Brittany Higgins's interview went to air, Katy Gallagher told a Senate committee she had no prior knowledge of the rape allegation. Linda Reynolds was the Defence Minister, and it was her office where the alleged rape took place.
You said I know where this started.
I know where this started. What do you mean?
Senator Wong, I really don't think we should be doing this here, but if you want me to do that.
Yes.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
Oh, I had no knowledge of this.
No one had any knowledge.
Okay. I had no knowledge of this.
How dare you?
Order. Now we will move.
It's all about protecting yourself.
It's led to days of coalition claims that Labor used the Higgins case for political gain.
The Finance Minister's foreknowledge of this could mean that she has misled Parliament, and that is a serious allegation. But that foreknowledge also poses this question that still remains unanswered. Was the Labor Party complicit in a scheme to weaponise a rape allegation for politics?
The idea that there's this conspiracy somehow, that somehow
it was
Labor...
carefully
that
orchestrated
somehow,
behind the scenes.
Well, that's nonsense.
And the Prime Minister denied colluding with Ms Higgins.
I met with Brittany Higgins on the same day that she met with Scott Morrison. Before then, I had never met her, and that is the only conversation I've ever had with her.
On Saturday, Katy Gallagher came forward, revealing she did receive information from David Sharaz, but she denied misleading Parliament about it.
I was aware of some allegations in the days leading up to the choice of Ms Brittany Higgins to make those allegations public. What allegations were you made aware of? Look, that there was going to be some public reporting that a young woman making serious allegations about events that had occurred in a minister's office were going to become public. I was given some information. I did nothing with that information.
Specialist criminal defence lawyer Terry O'Gorman says the revelations raise questions about any political interference and Bruce Lerriman's right to a fair trial.
The role of the then opposition in whether they were a party, willingly, knowingly or not, to trashing the presumption of innocence of Mr Lerman should be examined by the Privileges Committee.
But there are also questions about how the text messages ended up in public.
But they weren't supposed to be made public, they're supposed to be protected. So there's a big question around who leaked those text messages and the other material and why.
The opposition says it'll be keeping up the pressure on the government in Parliament this week.
This is all about the opposition at the time weaponising a complaint of rape. What we are now seeing play out is more and more evidence that this is what has occurred.
And there could be more to come, with the public inquiry due to deliver its report to the ACT government next month.
We're seeing a side of the system, the inside of it, that we don't normally see, and I think it is a pretty uncomfortable thing to be watching.